because of the emotion you have between you and them, but you do not exploit their abilities to know what they can do. That's why people don't use friends in businesses, and friends tend to get mad at that. Kubanga omuntu akimanyi nti ajja kukuwa omulimu ozandike biza nyiramu kubanga okimanyi nti ki tamanyi kyosobola lwansonga takumanyi. That's why I told you omukwano gwo batomumanyi kubanga akulaga smile face all the time. Tomanyi kikyali, tomanyi wanyiga akola ate, tomanyi ki byonna tobimanyi. Gwomanyiko side emu nti kyaliwo muba museka ssaawa bina. Okay, so that's why people don't use them in businesses. They go to hire bank managers, professional bank managers and stuff. Why? Because they know once you put friendship into a business, it's gonna collapse. Because that person has no credentials. He doesn't know how to be a manager. But because he's your friend, you want to give him a job. That's why you're not going to make money. Okay? You give them position not because of their capabilities, but because of the sentiments you have between you and them. Okay, that's why I tell you. Let me give you another story. There was a person. There was a man called Talleyrand. Talleyrand Forcher was a general who wanted to take over Napoleon Bonaparte. By that time, Napoleon was a big guy, and some generals, they never believed in what they were doing. Okay, so the guy, Forcher, he had an idea of overthrowing Napoleon, but he didn't know how to execute the plan. He was thinking, should I use my friends? If I tell my friends about this, would it be a good thing? I was like, should I use my friends to do this job? Should I go with he was thinking of a way to overthrow, to get a team that can really overthrow the the team that can overthrow Napoleon Bonaparte. So Talleyrand, what he did, he said, I shouldn't go with my friends because I don't know whether they are my friends. I might think they are my best friends, and they go tell Napoleon Bonaparte that I'm going to overthrow him. What he did, there was a guy called Joseph Forcher. He was his worst enemy. Joseph Forcher was the worst enemy General Talleyrand has ever had. Guy yarita mwagala. Joseph Forger yali talima kambugu na Talleyrand, not in any way. Na yeye yagenda na amunyonyera na amugamba. By that time, Joseph Forger was he was the director of private police in France. By that time, so rather in Napoleon's regime. So what he did, he went to Joseph Forcher and he explained everything. He wanted to overthrow Napoleon and stuff. So the guy told him, okay, let's execute the plan. They executed the plan. Why did he go for an enemy? He knew how an enemy would react, what he is capable of doing. Nebirala nayenga ono mulabe we asingako omuntu gwatakola ki gwatamanyi. Lwaki ndese story no njagala nkulage nti an enemy you know is worth 1,000 friends you do not know about. Why? That your enemies are let me bring it in this way, that your enemies, they are really a gold mine that you never exploited. Nti abantu bano betuyita balabe baffe, they are gold mines, nti birombe bya gold bye tutakola ki, bye tutavumbulanga. Why would you say that? Nti generally yakozesa mulabe we to overthrow Napoleon. However much nti olukwe lwabwe terwayitamu because of other reasons, but an enemy is somebody who can change stones to prove his worthiness to you. an enemy is a person who has something to prove to you. An enemy is a person who can turn mountains to prove he is worthy, to prove he can be of worth to you, because he in himself, he knows it that you don't see anything good into him, so he can change mountains to prove to you that he is something. So that's why Tariland chose his worst enemy to execute a plan of overthrowing Napoleon. What do we learn from this? That the enemies, the people we call our enemies, they are gold mines that we've never exploited. Those are the people. It is an enemy that you know better than a friend. Or you know an enemy can do this, can do this, can do this. Okay? But you don't know such things on a friend. Abantu betuwangalira tosobola mmanya nti oyo bwoba omuyita kyaliwo tosobola mmanya nti asobola okukola bwati, asobola okutta, alina amagezi agakola kino, kuba byonna abatabikulaga. You just see a positive side of his. You just see a positive side of his or hers. Or you know an enemy can do this, can do this, can do this. Okay? But you don't know such things on a friend. Abantu betuwangalira tosobola mmanya nti oyo bwoba omuyita kyaliwo tosobola mmanya nti asobola okukola bwati, asobola okutta, alina amagezi agakola kino, kuba byonna abatabikulaga. You just see a positive side of his. You just see a positive side of his or hers. So lwaki nkugamba bwetyo nti olina okuyiga okusembeza balabe baabo obajjemu ekyo kye weetaaga, so si kubawalana. Okitegee? So si kubawalana. Okitegee? Abantu abo buli wobawalana, you create a gap okumanya emikisa gyoje oba ogiggaliddeyo nti abantu abo you're not gonna know what they are capable of doing oba helping you. Naye singa obakozesa nojjawo kiri, awo osobola okufunamu ekituufu okusinga lw'onaakozesa mikwano gyo gy'otamanyi gye birowooza. Okitegee? So yes, kyembadde njagala osharingako naawe. Yeah, choose your friends wisely. Do not make permanent enemies like in politics. Do not make permanent enemies, because you never know. You don't know. An enemy here can be a savior right there. A savior there. A friend here can be an enemy right at the back. That's two. And you can have an enemy here and he would be your savior somewhere. But a friend you have right now can be an enemy. You see, that's not reversible, but you can reverse the other one. You can be a friend, an enemy to somebody, but later you be a savior to him, which is not good. To start with being a friend and you become an enemy, so you would lose anything. Tumanye mikwano gyaffe. Bwe tumanya mikwano gyaffe, tumanye nti they are just people who are there for happy moments, who are there for sorrow moments. They are just a piece into our lifetime. They can either put you down or maintain you like the way you are forever. Do not make permanent enemies. Kubanga nkugambi, you never know who's going to help you here, who's going to help you the other side. Friends intend to be so royal. Friends intend to be so royal. But do you oyagala okumanya ekigambo royal bwe kitegeeza? Nti one day keera ku makya, go to the garden of flowers and pick a drowning bee, enjuki, from a pond with royalty or with friendship in expense of saving it, that's when you will know that the royalty of a bee isn't from its look, that it produces honey. Because by the time you touch it, it will sting you. Thank you.